Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to part two. I decided to make a part two to just give you guys some of my continuing thoughts from the last episode that I did. And where I left off was that if you cannot find a church that displays all the qualities that you're looking for, such as love, compassion, empathy, then you are much better off just being by yourself. Now, what exactly did I mean by that? Well, I'm going to explain here very shortly, but first, I'm also going to do a series on it'll most likely be another two-parter because there's just so much to uncover. There's so much to unpack. But I'm gonna do another episode, or I should call series, on the second coming of Jesus Christ. Now, there's two groups of people that see the second coming of Christ or the end times very differently. The first group of people, if you're watching this right now, you cannot wait for the second coming of Christ. You cannot wait for for the end of the world. You're like, yay, no more suffering, no more heartache, no more depression, no more anxiety. This whole world is just going to be a complete chaos and fire and brimstone, and I just can't wait. And then there's the second group of people, for those of you guys that are watching that are a little freaked out about about even the thought of that happening. You try to stay away from it as much as you can. Maybe you're a devout Christian, maybe you're not. But for those of you guys that are scared, that want to try to avoid the subject altogether, calm down, take a deep breath. It's not going to be what you think. I'm going to take a very nuanced approach to this. And I think it's going to be interesting. I think it might be one of the most important episodes that I'll ever do. But I want to go ahead and just continue on with where I left off in the last episode. So what exactly did I mean when I said that you are much better off alone? Well, when you really go back to Romans 12 verses 4 through 5, which we covered in part 1, where Paul talks about the church being one body. What exactly does that mean, one body? Well, a couple things come to mind for me. The first one is that one body means a group of people. However many people that is, I'm assuming it's a very it's a very limited number of people, because you can't really, just like we've discussed in the last episode, you can't really find a church family within a huge mega church. It's impossible. So it's a very minute amount of people, but it's a group of people, and it's a group of people specifically that places a strong emphasis on love, compassion, and care, not only for each other, but the pastor shares his feelings for his church are very mutual of that of love, compassion, and empathy. So that's the first possibility. The second one is when he talks about one body, he could mean just one body as in yourself. If you're only able to find those qualities within yourself, well then, by all means, you are much better off being without a church. I'm not saying to never find a church, or to just throw out the possibility of finding your group of people altogether. But if you were in this moment or season right now where that might be the best solution for you, well then you are in the right place at the right time. Make no mistake about it. You are this is not by accident. wherever you are in your life currently is exactly, there's a reason why you are in this season um, of being alone right now. Not necessarily loneliness, but being alone. Because here's the thing, guys, and this doesn't just apply to the Christian life or or the church life, but it's every aspect of your life. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be work. It could be it could be your business. It could be your family. Whatever that is, you have to make sure that you are the first priority. And I don't mean that in a self-absorbed way, or that it's all about me, 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 me. I need more time for myself and less time with other people. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is get to know yourself. And I mean it. I mean, get to really know yourself. What is it like? What is it that you've never really found out about who you are? What kind of baggage, what kind of hurt have you been holding on to for years that you are just not ready to let go of? And you just completely sweep it under the rug, like it's not there. But it's still this giant elephant in the room that you just refuse to confront. Why? Because of your ego, because of your fear. Now, you guys have to understand that fear and ego are not mutually exclusive at all. Fear is more than just being afraid of everything. Ego is more than just being self-absorbed or thinking more highly of yourself than you ought. It goes much, 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 much deeper than that. It is all a byproduct of our human nature. And our human nature loves to go to our mind for every answer, for every solution. Now, I'm not saying that your mind isn't an important function of your body. You need your mind. I need my mind right now to move my hand. I need my mind right now to be able to move my mouth to speak to you guys. I need my mouth to plan. I need my mouth to figure out what I'm going to say. But your mind isn't everything. And, some of you guys have, especially those of you that are devout Christian, might misinterpret, pieces of scripture that'll say that, God doesn't want you to listen to your heart because your heart can be deceived. Now, there's some truth to that for sure. But how often does your mind lie to you than your heart does? I mean, really think about that, because your mind will always go to, well, what if I never find a church? What if I never find my group of people? Am I going to be alone for the rest of my life? Am I just going to have to deal with all these issues and all these problems, by myself, or, with my wife, or, with my friends for the rest of my life? Is God going to punish me if I don't ever find a church, or if I don't ever go to a church? Is he going to, am I going to hell after I die for being disobedient? And these are all fear-based mentalities. Remember, when Paul is talking about one body is a very generalized statement to make. One body can mean with a group of people, or one body can mean just by yourself. But when you start to prioritize yourself, when you really start to understand, who you are, and and pay very close attention to all the things that you do unconsciously, then you will be ready to bring other people into your life. And depending on whether you're single, or whether you're just dating around, or or if you're in a relationship, or if you're married, you will attract people that you are meant to attract into your life. You will you will marry the right person, and your marriage will be stronger than it ever has been, because you took the time, you took the effort to just completely throw your ego by the wayside so that you can properly love and care for yourself. And trust me, everything else, finding a church, finding the right job, is just the cherry on top. It is not the end all be all. It's not the end of the world if you can't find it yet or ever. But just be glad, just be thankful that God has you in this situation in life where you can just be by yourself, meditate, pray, because all those things are important, because it's not just church, but the vast majority of people in this world right now are very fear and ego driven. Most. Very rare, if very few people actually get to experience for themselves who they really are, and what life really means, what life it really is about, what the Christian life really is about. When you love and care for yourself, the rest will follow. But just to try to eliminate any kind of fear or or any kind of what ifs. What if I never find a church? What if I don't do this? What if I don't do X, Y, and Z? Is God not pleased with me anymore? Am I no longer good enough for him? You may not be thinking about that consciously, because you go to a church that talks about how they're all about love, and they're all about compassion, and they're all about come as you are and all that kind of stuff. But consciously, you don't really believe that, and neither do they, to be honest. They don't really believe it either. They want to collect tithes. They want to collect a paycheck. And that's most churches. I know that this is really hard for you to hear right now, but that is the vast majority of churches. Especially in this day and age. Especially in the day and age where technology, smartphones, the internet is all but rampant. It's very easy to get attention from other people, not just within their church walls, but from anybody watching their live streams, anybody watching their content, anybody scrolling through their Instagram pictures. It is very easy, and it continues to feed the ego and feed the pride much more, to the point where it is no longer a church. So that is why I say use your intuition, use your heart, because very rarely do they lie to you. And more importantly, if you still belong to a church, or even to a higher extent, you are on a church staff, or even if you are a lead pastor and you're watching this right now, and you have a really hard time registering this, you have a really hard time, this is a really hard pill for you to swallow. And just know that this isn't any kind of critique or judgment from me. This isn't me trying to call out anybody or to say that all churches are bad or that you're bad. But you know exactly what I'm saying is true. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this series. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it brought value. I hope that it inspired you. And if it did, share it with your friends and your family. But like always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you again soon.